I'm Dan Harris, and this is World News. Tonight, Family Feud. Colin Powell hitting back at Dick Cheney and other Republican critics, saying he's still a member of the party, a party he says has to change. State of emergency. Record rains causing misery across central Florida, forcing NASA to divert the space shuttle to a costly landing in California. Gitmo, Montana. What to do with the accused terrorists at Guantanamo Bay, one struggling town that is eager to take them. And past versus present. On this Memorial Day weekend, one community bitterly divided over whether to build a superstore on the edge of a Civil War battleground.
From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is World News.
Good evening. Colin Powell, a decorated war veteran, knows a thing or two about fighting back. And so today, Powell plunged into the raging debate between moderate and conservative Republicans over the future of the party by answering his loudest critics, specifically Dick Cheney and Rush Limbaugh, who have openly mocked Powell as a Republican in name only. Here's ABC's Rachel Martin.
The last job Colin Powell had in government was as the country's top diplomat. But today, the four-star general came out swinging.
What we have to do is debate and define who we are and what we are, and not just listen to diktats that come down from the right wing of the party.
Powell finds himself in the middle of a bitter family feud over how to bring the GOP back to life. Conservative Republicans are still angry with his endorsement of Barack Obama.
And what Colin Powell needs to do is close the loop and become a Democrat.
My take on it was Colin had already left the party. I didn't know he was still a Republican.
Powell's response today:
Rush will not get his wish, and Mr. Cheney was misinformed. I am still a Republican.
He says the GOP needs to attract more moderates, not just for its own sake, but for the sake of the nation, which he says needs a strong opposition party.
If we don't do that, if we don't reach out more, the party is going to be sitting on a very, very narrow base. And you can only do two things with a base. You can sit on it and watch the world go by, or you can build on the base.
Former Bush advisor Karl Rove said there's room for Powell in the GOP, but winning the party mantle is another question.
I want Colin Powell to go out there and lay out his vision, and then I want him to back it up by finding people who share it and working like heck to get him, and that's how you win the party's intra-party battle of ideas.
Now, Republicans are quick to point out that this kind of internal debate is only natural after suffering such a big loss. But political analysts say Republicans won't be able to make a national comeback until they stop attacking each other and start collectively attacking the Democrats. Dan.
Rachel Martin in Washington tonight. Thank you. It is raining again tonight in Central Florida. The last thing they need there after a week of record downpours, flash floods, and evacuations. More than 2 feet of rain had already fallen in some places before this latest round of storms. Volusia County, home to Daytona Beach, appears to have been hardest hit with at least $55 million in damages to 1,000 businesses and homes. The governor has declared states of emergency in 11 counties. That stormy weather forced NASA to finally abandon plans to land the shuttle Atlantis at Cape Canaveral in Florida. The shuttle was instead diverted to the backup landing site in California, which turns out to be an expensive detour, as ABC's Ned Potter explains.
2 days late and a little the worse for wear, Atlantis came safely down in the California sunshine.
Main gear touchdown.
It had been 12 days and 21 hours since launch. NASA did some math and said the shuttle traveled 5,279,000 miles.
Welcome home, Atlantis. Congratulations on a very successful mission.
Thank you, Houston. It was a thrill from start to finish.
It was a high-stakes, high-profile flight. On 5 long spacewalks, the astronauts gave the Hubble telescope a complete rehab. Images like these offer clues to the origins of the universe, to our own beginnings.
We think that that makes the risk that we're taking worthwhile.
But getting home proved harder. It's actually cheaper to keep astronauts in space than ship the shuttle back to Florida for $2 million. But a third of the time, Florida's thunderstorms give them no choice.
Weather here in Florida lived up to its reputation. It was dynamic and tough to predict.
Which is why the California desert looked so welcoming to the astronauts, who laughed and said they were thrilled to be back on the ground. Ned Potter, ABC News, New York.
Health officials tonight are confirming 18 cases of swine flu among American troops at an air base in Kuwait. These soldiers were diagnosed shortly after arriving from the U.S. The World Health Organization's global tally now stands at 12,022 swine flu cases and 86 deaths. We turn now to a significant shift in American policy involving same-sex couples. When Americans go overseas to serve as diplomats, their spouses get the same privileges and protections that they do. Same-sex partners cannot count on those protections, but this week, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is expected to change that. This new policy is a victory for former Ambassador Michael Guest, who has lobbied for the change since he resigned his post, saying he would no longer choose between his family and his country.
I consider this to be not an issue of what some people call gay rights, but just fairness and an issue of principle.
Guest was named ambassador to Romania by President George W. Bush. Then Secretary of State Colin Powell acknowledged Guest's partner at the swearing-in ceremony, but Guest resigned in 2007, saying same-sex partners were being discriminated against.
They're not allowed into security training to protect themselves from possible terrorist threats. They're not allowed language training. They can't be evacuated in case of political hostilities or in case of medical emergency. There's a very long list that this new policy is designed to correct.
And same-sex partners will now carry diplomatic passports, and the government will pick up the cost of their transportation. Secretary Clinton called it, quote, the right thing to do. Overseas, at least 11 people were injured today in an armed fight between rival groups of worshippers at a Sikh temple in Vienna, Austria. It started when a group of Sikhs opposed to the sermon being given by a visiting guru pulled out knives and a gun. In Morocco, 11 people were killed at a stampede at the end of a concert at a soccer stadium. It happened when the crowd surged toward one of the exits, causing the fence to give way. Most of the victims were women and children. And Israel's new prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, announced today that Israel will continue to build homes in existing West Bank settlements, defying President Obama's request last week to halt all settlement growth. The White House considers those settlements obstacles to peace with the Palestinians. Tonight, there is growing talk that hundreds of members of the British Parliament may lose their jobs because of an exploding scandal over the politicians misusing their expense accounts. Gloria Riviera is in London with that story.
I have to have 2 homes.
In Britain, politicians are running for cover after covering up their expenses. By law, members of Parliament are allowed reasonable claims for a second home. But more than 200 parliamentary members from all sides are accused of going too far.
Westminster cannot operate like some gentleman's club.
One put in for the cleaning of the moat around his country estate. Another claimed thousands to build a house like this one for his ducks. And parliamentarian Anthony Steen claimed over $130,000 for the 500 trees on his country estate. But he's not sorry.
I've been too honest, and I've been victimized for it. I should have claimed the interest on the mortgage, and we'll all be enjoying a good cup of tea now.
The House of Commons fought long and hard to keep the facts from coming out. The Speaker twice tried to pass legislation exempting members of Parliament from the law that required them coming clean on expenses. The Speaker paid the price and was forced to resign. The first time that's happened in over 300 years.
And it's been pigs at the trough.
They've been taking money off us left, right and centre.
Before the 16th century, officials were often killed for their transgressions. Today, at least, they're avoiding calls of off with their heads. Gloria Riviera, ABC News, London.
The outcry has gotten so bad that the Archbishop of Canterbury called for a truce between Britain's politicians and the public. And back in this country, a repeat winner at today's Indy 500, Brazilian driver Helio Castroneves won for the 3rd time, 2 seconds ahead of Dan Weldon. You may remember Castroneves from another victory on ABC's Dancing with the Stars back in 2007. And coming up here on World News this Sunday, the silent struggle, helping young veterans get past the nightmares of war. The town in Montana that is asking the president to send them the prisoners from Guantanamo Bay. And building a Walmart on the site of a Civil War battlefield, the Hollywood star who's saying no way.
This is World News, brought to you by Progressive.
May I help you?
Hi, I'm looking to save on car insurance, but it's got to be right for me.
Well, let's check out the day file.
Excuse me?
The Dave aisle, where your perfect policy is customized just for you. It's all here. The coverage you want, any discounts you get, all at a great price.
I have an aisle. Well, why is that guy in my aisle?
That's Steve. He works here.
Getting just what you want at the right price. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
They tickle, they tease, and you sneeze. Maybe it's time to ask your doctor about Singulair. While many allergy medicines block histamine, Singulair blocks leukotrienes, an underlying cause of nasal allergy symptoms. And that's how Singulair works differently. One pill, once a day. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Singulair, a different way to treat allergies.
Dad, it's time. You'd be a really nice catch for somebody. Please?
Just for Men takes 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray hair, and can start something great.
Yes!
Just for Men.
For people with diabetes, simple steps can mean a whole new start. Eat smarter. Delicious Glucerna shakes help minimize blood sugar spikes, which can help lower A1C levels. Glucerna, smart nutrition for people with diabetes.
Last appointment, my dermatologist said lotion with sunscreen all over.
Introducing Gold Bond Ultimate Protection Body Lotion. Moisturizers, vitamins, plus sunscreen.
Soft and safe every day.
New Gold Bond Ultimate Protection.
This stuff really works.
I'm Mark Goldston, Chairman and CEO of Net Zero. Here's a plan for America's broadband users to save $16 billion a year and $300 individually. Switch to Net Zero dial-up at $9.95 per month. Call 1-800-NET-ZERO or go to netzero.com.
Of all the things made for women, maybe one of the most important is new Centrum Silver Ultra Women's, a complete multivitamin for women over 50. It has vitamin D, which emerging science suggests supports breast health, and more calcium for bone health. New Centrum Silver Ultra Women's.
Going 3 times a night? I'm used to it.
Time out. Wearing pads just in case? I don't mind it much. Time out. Are you really going to put up with overactive bladder forever? Talk to your doctor and give the coping a time out.
Today, for the 22nd year, thousands of motorcycles roared into Washington, D.C. It was the Rolling Thunder Ride for Freedom, in which riders from all over the country pushed for a full accounting of missing soldiers and prisoners of war. America, as you know, is fighting 2 wars on this Memorial Day weekend. Here's a quick look by the numbers. In Iraq, there are still 135,000 troops on the ground. The administration is trying to reduce that number right now. In Afghanistan, 49,000 troops, a commitment that is growing. Since 9/11, close to 2 million Americans have served in the Middle East and Afghanistan. More than 700,000 of them have been deployed there more than once. The price has been high. In Iraq, more than 4,000 Americans have been killed and more than 31,000 wounded. In Afghanistan, close to 600 Americans have been killed, 2,000 wounded. The cost has been financial as well. Since 9/11, the Department of Defense has spent close to $700 billion for war-related costs, the majority for Iraq. And the price will only get higher. Another $91 billion for war operations is awaiting final passage in Congress. Many of the veterans of those 2 wars have come home not necessarily with physical wounds, but wounds nonetheless. They are the hundreds of thousands of men and women who simply have not been able to separate themselves from the stress of war. We get their stories tonight from Martha Redis.
On a stunningly beautiful hillside in the heart of Napa Valley, Iraq and Afghanistan seem a long way away. But for young veterans of those wars, the memories have not faded.
The building was shaking, the glass was breaking, there was shrapnel ripping through the building.
You just have that mindset that you are being hunted, and you don't know by whom.
Once I speak of one memory, then it's like open a floodgate of other memories from other situations.
All 3 of these young men are being treated for PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, at Pathway Home, a treatment facility at this veterans home where more than 1,000 veterans from earlier wars now live. 25-year-old Alex Penalver did 3 consecutive tours in Iraq, but it was when he faced rockets and mortars on his first deployment that his life changed.
I felt powerless. I felt like I couldn't do anything. I just waiting for death to come.
What'd that do to you?
Mentally, I was just prepared every day to die. Every single day, I was ready to go.
26-year-old Cedric Brooks spent 52 months of the last 8 years as a sniper in Iraq and Afghanistan. But it wasn't till he was home that he began having trouble.
There is something wrong. There is something that's changed, and you need help.
Brooks tried alcohol, then suicide.
I just felt alone. I felt ashamed.
So did 21-year-old Brendan Schnitzler.
When I came back, for one, just lost all taste for everything. I was numb. I didn't care about anything.
Of the more than 1.6 million U.S. service members who have deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, 20% report symptoms of PTSD or major depression. But these young men feel they are a few of the lucky ones. They are getting help, which many others are not.
I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel yet, but I know it's there, and I know I will get there someday.
Martha Raddatz, ABC News, Yountville, California.
And when we come back, the small town that actually wants the accused terrorists from Guantanamo. They say their prison is ready and waiting.
I thought I knew all about high cholesterol.
But then my doctor told me something I didn't know.
While I was building my life, my high cholesterol was contributing to plaque buildup in my arteries.
That's why my doctor prescribed Crestor.
People everywhere are learning that plaque buildup is a real reason to lower high cholesterol, and that Crestor can help. Along with diet, Crestor does more than lower bad cholesterol. It raises good. Crestor is also proven to slow the buildup of plaque in arteries. Crestor isn't for everyone, like people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests will check for liver problems. You should tell your doctor about other medicines you're taking, or if you have muscle pain or weakness, that could be a sign of serious side effects. Like others, while you've been building your life, plaque may have been building in your arteries. Find out more at Crestor.com. Then ask your doctor if it's time for Crestor.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Want bigger, more beautiful potted plants? Miracle Grow makes it easy with moisture control potting mix. Watch. The soil is so amazing, it actually stores water, only releasing it when plants need it, taking the guesswork out of watering. Plus, there's Miracle Grow plant food mixed right in that feeds for 3 months. So plants grow twice as big. Easy and amazing. Want it big? Want it beautiful? Make it Miracle Grow.
It's clear we need more energy from all sources. And most Americans agree we need more domestic oil and natural gas. But does that mean you'll see more oil and gas platforms? Well, with advanced subsea technology, one platform can now gather oil from wells 40 miles away. So what used to take many just a few years ago now takes only one. That's more of the oil and natural gas we need from less than meets the eye. Log on to learn more.
Wow, Activia lady. It's my new name. I do get irregular sometimes. Try Activia. But aren't all yogurts the same? Only Activia has Bifidus regularis and is clinically proven to help regulate your digestive system. Take the Switch to Activia challenge.
I took it, and I'm loving life.
Activia is clinically proven to help regulate your digestive system in 2 weeks.
Take the Switch to Activia challenge now. It works, or your money back.
Activia!
Did you see that on Good Morning America? One day Diane's there with our new president. Then the next, she's out all across our country, all across the planet. Is there any door she can't open? And Robin, she's like everywhere. She's got the strength and spirit to move mountains. No wonder they were voted the best morning show.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at the debate over the detention center in Guantanamo Bay and what to do with the detainees there if and when the place is shut down. Today on ABC's This Week, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff gave strong support to President Obama's decision to close the prison.
The concern I've had about Guantanamo in these wars is it has been a symbol and one which has been a recruiting symbol for those extremists and jihadists who would fight us.
Mullen acknowledged, however, that it will be difficult to decide where to send what he called some really bad people from Guantanamo. Congress made clear this week that many members don't want the prisoners in their states. But there is one place that does want them, the town of Hardin, Montana. ABC's Ryan Owens went there.
Hardin, Montana is the kind of place where the trains just don't stop anymore. This one-stoplight town is the seat of the poorest county in Montana. The only thing that shimmers in the early morning sun here, the razor wire surrounding the $27 million Two Rivers Detention Center.
Well, it's 92,000 square feet. It holds 464.
Actually, it's supposed to hold 464 prisoners. So far, it hasn't held a thing, except Greg Smith's hopes. He's the area's economic development director.
I'm not going to lie to you, it's pretty grim here.
But Smith believes bringing Guantanamo Bay detainees to this prison built by private investors could change that.
Well, this room is the control center.
This prison was finished 2 years ago, but still sits empty, caught in a bureaucratic maze more twisted than the wires outside.
We have plenty of blankets, there's pillows, shower shoes, boxer shorts, more uniforms.
Smith says for Guantanamo detainees, all of this would be a perfect fit.
More and more uniforms.
This facility was constructed to house maximum security prisoners. In fact, there are 36 solitary confinement cells here, where the truly dangerous would spend all day locked up alone.
If somebody doesn't think it's secure, come on in. We'll lock you up for a few days, see how you do.
Those assurances haven't quieted the concerns of some of the town's 3,400 residents.
I would probably buy a gun. Lock your pickups, your cars, the whole 9 yards, and it would be a definite change.
Still, the city council has voted unanimously to ask the president to transfer the suspected terrorist here. Backers say turning this into a federal prison could bring more than 100 jobs to a community where unemployment is above 10%.
We're about seeking opportunity to find the fit so that we can prosper. I'm not going to apologize for that.
So while the rest of the country is saying, not in my backyard, this town is saying, please, come to ours. Ryan Owens, ABC News, Hardin, Montana.
The Obama administration has not yet responded to Hardin's offer, which has not received much support on Capitol Hill. The two senators from Montana are among those saying, not in my backyard. And when we come back on the broadcast, the dispute over a Civil War battlefield, Walmart versus the Hollywood star.
What's your Cialis moment?
When she gives me that look.
When at last we're alone.
When we both decide.
Today, guys with erectile dysfunction can be ready with another dosing option from Cialis. Cialis for daily use is a clinically proven low-dose tablet you take every day, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. So relax and take your time.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injuries, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Today, you have options. Cialis for daily use or 36-hour Cialis. Ask your doctor if Cialis is right for you, so when the moment is right, you can be ready.
I thought a complete multivitamin was enough, until I learned 1 in 3 men will face prostate issues. And One A Day Men's has more selenium than Centrum to support prostate health. And it supports heart health. That works for me.
One A Day Men's. Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's greenhouse. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles with 2 different gels for softness and support are outrageously comfortable.
I'd rather walk anyway.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Wednesday, ABC's Summer Smash Hit is back. With more wow, pow, and ABC's Wipeout season premiere Wednesday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
It's no secret what people are worried about. Their jobs, their pension plans, whether their savings are intact.
ABC's World News with Charles Gibson, cutting through the noise.
And that makes bringing people the news all the more important.
Memorial Day, which, as you know, is tomorrow, started as Decoration Day, a time to honor the nation's Civil War dead by decorating their graves. Nearly 150 years later, a very modern-day fight has erupted in Virginia over a battleground where thousands of Union and Confederate soldiers died. ABC's John Hendren reports tonight from Virginia.
The battle at Wilderness is not over. The Civil War battlefield where Ulysses S. Grant first faced Robert E. Lee is once again the site of a titanic struggle. On one side is Walmart, which plans to build a supercenter near the park's entrance.
You won't be able to see it from any of the battlefield park.
The mounting numbers may overwhelm our defense.
On the other side are preservationists led by Robert Duvall, a Virginian and descendant of Lee who played him in Gods and Generals.
I certainly believe in capitalism, but I believe in capitalism coupled with sensitivity. Whatever we can do to help, we'll help. But we'll help first by graciously chasing out Walmart.
180,000 troops met here, more Americans than are now in Iraq and Afghanistan combined. The two-day battle left a staggering 29,000 dead and wounded.
This was really the beginning of the end for the Confederacy.
When it was over, General Lee never gained the offensive again. Arkansas native Craig Rains moved here to be near those historic ties.
This is going to destroy that rural vision that we have. Walmart's going to be open 24 hours a day.
But some of his neighbors want the jobs, tax money, and one-stop shopping Walmart would bring.
I urge you to unanimously vote to allow Walmart to build.
Development is also gaining ground at Gettysburg, Fort Gaines, Alabama, and dozens of other historic sites. One Civil War group estimates 30 acres of battlefields disappear each day.
It's a struggle being played out on battlefield after battlefield. Preservationists say history should be protected. Businesses say the development is already here.
At the Walmart site, where Confederate and Union troops once camped, there is already a strip mall and a 4-lane highway.
We're very proud of our battlefields. That doesn't mean that we can't also have the commercial growth that we so desperately need.
Walmart is likely to win the latest battle. But for preservationists, there is a silver lining. More Americans than ever now know about the most important battle they'd never heard of. John Hendren, ABC News at the Wilderness Battlefield.
And that is World News on this Sunday. I'm Dan Harris. We're going to leave you on this Memorial Day weekend with images of Arlington Cemetery, a reminder of the enormous sacrifice our soldiers make for us. For all of us here at ABC News, thank you for watching tonight, and good night.
What do Will Smith, Samuel L. Jackson, the Jonas Brothers, Rosario Dawson, Christian Slater, and Seth Green know about money? Boom! They know Melody, the financial guru, and they'll show you how to get unbroke. It's what you need to know about money. Friday at 9 on ABC.
Having this happen, like, to a 3-year-old, that's so wrong.
New information about this mother charged with murdering her son and trying to kill her daughter. How the 7-year-old girl is doing today. Also, what neighbors and the children's babysitters say about this family's history.
What happened in that Salem apartment Saturday night leaves 1 man dead, 4 officers on administrative leave, and tonight what we found out about the man police were after.
A K2 medical alert about skinny jeans and the damage they could be causing you.
Live at 6, this is K2 News on your side.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Anna Song. We begin with the latest on the mother accused of murdering her 4-year-old son and trying to kill her daughter. The 7-year-old